Welcome back, everybody. In this video, our focus is going to be lesson number 12. In lesson number 12, we are continuing to play the notes we learned back in lesson number 9. But our focus in this lesson is going to be something very specific. It's going to be something we call string crossing. String crossing is simply when you are alternating between your I and M, which is what you should be doing, right? And then crossing over to the next string while you continue to alternate between your index and your middle finger. Now, in measure 1, the first two notes are on the third string, and we play those I and M. Oops. The second two notes are on the second string, and we play those also I and M. What that causes is an awkward string crossing. The second time you play the third string, you're going to use your middle finger, right? I M. After that, you immediately have to play the second string with your first finger. So if you place your middle finger on the third string, and then place your index finger on the second string, that actually should feel backwards to what, it should feel awkward. Okay, if it doesn't, it will eventually, and I'm going to show you why. What feels more correct would be to place your index finger on the third string, and then the middle finger on the second string. This makes sense anatomically speaking, because our index finger is shorter than our middle finger. And because our middle finger, our third string is closer and our second string is further away from our hand, it just fits nicely with our fingers. But given the I and M alternation of that first measure and the fact that we're playing the first two notes on the third string, the second two notes on the second string, it causes us to have to play in this manner. Not together, obviously, but back to back, which is kind of the same thing, right? We end up having to do this sort of motion. In the second measure, we do something similar. In the second measure, we play the second string 3 times, I, M, I, and then after that, we play the third string with our middle finger to finish off the measure. And that, again, causes us to play with our index finger on the second string, and immediately following our middle finger with on the third string. And this is, again, that awkward sort of string crossing that we're going to learn how to be comfortable with. So how do you practice this? Well, you practice this by basically playing the strings themselves without having to worry about placing your notes on the left hand. And we did this a couple of times in the previous lessons. Lesson, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, I can't remember. So let's practice the first measure first. And we're just going to go I and M on the third string, followed by I and M on the second string, making sure that we don't mess up the I and M alternation, while also being aware of the fact that we are actually doing this awkward string crossing. All right? So on the count of 4, we're just going to play the third string twice, second string twice, and repeat over and over and over again. We'll do it 4 times. On my count, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I, M, 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 and stop. You would just do that enough times so that you feel comfortable, that you won't make any mistakes as you play through the lesson. Now let's do the second measure. And again, the second measure, we're going to play the second string 3 times, because we have what we have: D, C, and B all on the second string, followed by an A, which would be on the third string. As open strings, starting with your index finger, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I, M, 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 and stop. And you would, again, practice that as many times as you need to, so that you know you won't make these mishaps with your index and middle finger, perhaps maybe missing strings, or doubling up one finger and then the next finger. And that's really what I would like you to focus on with lesson number 12. You can also practice this with free strokes and rest strokes. You can also practice this the same way with the concepts I taught you in lesson 11, playing tosto, which has got a nice warm sound, and ponticello, which has got a bright sound. and feeling the difference in resistance that you get from playing Ponticello. Since the string is so close to the bridge, you're going to have more. It's not going to feel as springy as playing up here near the fretboard. All right. So let's play this lesson. We'll do it twice. The first time I will say the notes so that you can begin to familiarize yourself with the notes even more. And then the second time I'll say I&M alternation, and that should help us with the string crossings, the awkward string crossings that come about because of lesson 12. Lesson number 12 on my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and G, A, B, C, D, C, B, A, G, A, B, C, D, C, B, A, G. 2, 3, 4, and stop. Always remembering to let that whole note ring for 4 counts. One last time. I will now be saying I and M. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I, M, 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 I. 2, 3, 4, and stop. And that, my friends, is lesson number 12. I will see all of you for lesson number 13.